Welcome back to the activation phase. This is Tim speaking, and I'm here with my trusty co-host, JP. Hello, JP.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. All right. So last time we did the Byzantines, and they were really interesting, and you kind of got hyped. I don't know if that hype died off already, but if that is the case, then maybe it's time to get you hyped for the Mutatawwi'a and look at them and look at what they can do. Do you want to do any fluff, or do we just straight hop onto our camels and get going?
I think we should skip the fluff because I haven't read the fluff part. But are the camel faction, or they were the camel faction for a very long time.
Yeah.
So maybe we should hit the old camel rules because it's a little bit of a strange unit type, but we thought we would mix it up a little bit and do some of the non-Christian warbands as well to bring a little bit of what's it called?
Diversity.
That's one to what we're covering. And I am trying to find the camel rules, but I was trying to stretch a little bit, but I don't find them on time.
I think are they at the end of the book? I think they are. Page.
Oh yeah, I was looking
68.
at the front with like where they normally.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
in the new books.
Okay, all right. Mount camel.
Nice stretching though.
Yeah, I know. I was trying, but also good to know that now they've moved all of the equipment to, or I guess, yeah, the last few books.
The newer books have them in the front.
The front, so that's why. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the content. So this is a special type of mount. It's a mount camel, so not mount horse. And I think they're actually the only ones, right? Except for the mercenary scouts. If you can take them on camels as well, I think. Anyway, so it counts as mounted. So same rules as when they're getting shot. And they move L on the first turn, or the first movement of the turn, and then after that they move only M. So they're a little bit slower than horses. However, on the plus side, they are pretty good against horses. So for some reason, horses do not like camels. I don't know if that's true or not. I have not ever seen a horse and a camel together, so maybe it is true. But they get a -1 penalty to their attack dice in all melees where the enemy unit has the mount or have the mount horse. A special rule against the camels, and then the camels can't benefit from cover just like horses. And and
that's
on
it.
The plus side, no, there's one more really important one. They are not subject to the mount horse special rule effects for terrain.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So they can move through terrain much more easily than horses, but generally they're slow horses, and then they get the buff when fighting against horses, which becomes incredibly good with some of the combinations on this battle board, on this warband. All right.
One important thing.
Yes.
One important thing. It's the first activation of the turn that changes to L, not just the first movement or charge activation. So that means if they rest, then their first move after that or first charge after that is already M. So they become quite slow if you need to rest them.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Let's move on to the equipment options. So this is I guess we do have to cover a little bit of fluff to explain this. So these guys are like the ultra fanatical Muslims who are kind of like on the borderlands and have pretty much given up everything to start fighting the Crusaders or the Spaniards or whatever. So they're I guess as close to professional soldiers as you can get, and they're essentially the mirror of the Milites Christi. So there are no levies. They have no time for unprofessional people in their ranks. So in terms of equipment options, the Warlord and the Hearthguard all have the same equipment options. They can either be on foot with no special equipment, mounted on horses, or mounted on camels. And then finally, the warriors are in foot or just have bows, and that's it. Nice and simple.
Really easy.
Yeah, definitely. So you probably have some issues activating mercenaries that count as levies on this board.
I don't think you
anyway.
should. I don't think you should bring them.
So don't do that. All right, let us begin on the top board or top of the board. So this is going to be a little bit different because there are no levies. So you have the Fanatics, which is just your Hearthguard and Hero Warlord. Activation, you have your Elect, which is your moving your warriors. So same thing like common and rare. And then this is where it starts to get interesting for a uncommon. It's called Alua Akbar. Yeah, to remember what the symbols were. It's an activation, so remove one of your models, not a mercenary, and choose an enemy unit within M of their unit. Roll 3 dice. The chosen unit suffers a casualty for each die that rolls above their melee armor. If a Hearthguard was removed, you get a +1 bonus to each die. So it's a little bit of like a self-sacrificing type thing going on there, but potentially against low armor units, you can get a decent payback there. Especially because it's a casualty, right? So it's not like a hit or something. So they don't get to what's it called? Roll for saves.
Yeah, no saves, no defense dice.
Yep, just bypass that. The combat bonus is the same as usual. So here in Crusades, you do get a shooting bonus dice. So it's melee shooting or shooting reaction, either attack or defense dice. And then finally, the activation pool is the same as usual. So just a rare for rolling 2 inactive saga dice. So nothing too special there. All right. Let's move to the board itself.
Yeah, the first ability is called Like Jinns, and it's an activation that can take either an uncommon or a rare. And it says activate a foot unit to charge. Its charge distance is L. So your units become very fast, and you can activate warriors with an uncommon. We really like that, so that's a good ability. Good stuff. And I'm going to take the big box of, the big can of cat food away from my cat because he's playing with it. I'm sure you can hear it. And I'm going to just throw it away. And JP, you can just go on. I'll be right back.
All right. My cat is sleeping peacefully behind me. So, all right. I was distracted by Tim's cat, so I will just pretend like we finished the Like Jinns, and we will go on to the next one. It's called Allah's Blessing. This is two dice ability, so 2 commons. So it's a melee or shooting reaction. If you reduce your armor by 1, your opponent must discard 4 of their hits after they rolled their attack dice. So this is this is pretty tasty actually. I guess it's good for low. If you're not expecting to get too many attacks in, this is definitely good.
I mean, if your opponent closed ranks on a normal size unit, or if
then you're basically shutting it down, right? So it's not too bad, and especially with, I guess, even with like shooting, you're generally not getting so many bonus dice on the shooting, that this could pretty much take away all of the hits anyway. It is a little bit spendy on the double common though, but I don't know. Like it seems, I think it would probably be more useful on the shooting because you're like, I guess against Mongols, you're probably shooting like, I don't know, 6 shots, something like that, 7, maybe 8. Same thing with like pagan people, you're just shooting a lot, but a lot of different units, but not a ton of dice each time. So you could just negate one shooting completely. However, 2 dice for this.
It is expensive, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a I think it's an important combo piece for later. So it on its own isn't the best, but with other abilities, it gets much better. So let's just keep going, and then I'm sure we can find the combos. All right, next up is Mortal Blow. It's a melee ability that can take any die facing. So Stronghold, Terrain, no wait, Studio Tomahawk, that's the one. The other ST. Studio Tomahawk really wants you to play this. It says reduce your armor by 1 to gain 4 attack dice and 2 defense dice. Gain 6 attack dice and 4 defense dice if you use a rare. So this is insane rare, in my opinion. And the problem is that the board wants a lot of rares. So, but 10 dice for a rare is incredible. And yeah, you can reduce your armor, and then if you closed ranks or your opponent closed ranks, these 4 defense dice will do so much work, because if you closed ranks, your save is much better, and if your opponent closed ranks, then they won't have as many attack dice, so your defense dice get incredible. So I feel like this is the common on here is also really good, I think, and the rare is also insane. Just a great.
Yeah, it's just good. Yeah, it's just good value. I mean, like, yes, you lose 1 armor, but still, just common. Boom. All right, nice. I think this is also lining up with our little combo ability. It's nice to actually look at these boards again after maybe not playing them for 2 years or something, or having a look at them for 2 years. It's basically like a new, like we received.
It's a new book.
Like what? All right, we're actually just going through the board, and we're going to be surprised. All right. The next one is Bloodbath. It's a common, using common dice. It's a melee ability. Reduce your armor by 1. It seems to be really popular on this board. So reduce your armor by 1 and discard 3 attack dice. Each of your opponent's attack dice which do not score a hit adds an automatic hit to the hits you inflict on them. Okay, it's a little bit convoluted, but basically you reduce your armor, and then every miss from your opponent gives you an automatic hit on them. So you're not actually rolling that many dice. You hope that they don't hit you. But okay, I think we're lining up a pretty sweet combo here with some of these. So
and this is obviously completely bonkers with the camels going into enemy horses, because the enemy horses will have -1, and so they will miss so many of their attacks. So like 4 Hearthguard on camels from the mutts can just easily charge 6 or 8 Hearthguard from another faction on horse, and they just kill themselves, because they can't close ranks, and they will just they have to throw all the attack dice, and so they just kill themselves.
Yeah, pro tip. This is how you win. Okay. But yeah, I mean, with a common, it's like, why would you not?
It's an uncommon, right?
Yeah, you're right. My bad. Uncommon. Still uncommon. Good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes.
All right. The next one is called Fight to the Death. It's a melee ability that takes a rare. And it says during this melee, all attack dice get a +2 bonus. So this is a clear non-bow with a Bloodbath, but it's pretty good with taking attack dice from your opponent via Allah's blessing. Because if they have less attack dice, then this just isn't as great. And yeah, I mean, in the end, maybe your opponent gets like auto hits anyway, but if they have 4 attacks and you have 12, that's completely fine if you also have auto hits. So this is just makes the whole melee very deadly, and I feel like you have other abilities that can set it up in a way where it's just insanely beneficial to you. So I feel like the mutts are very combo heavy board.
Yeah, I guess this also stops them from kind of like an edge case where if you have lots of fatigue, it also stops your opponent from being invincible as well, because like the +2 bonus, probably one of the only abilities ever in Saga with like the +2 bonus to hit. That's pretty edge case, but pretty sweet. All right, next one, Fanaticism. It's a common plus uncommon. Order's reaction. Until the end of the turn, you may reroll all your 1s during each shooting attack and each melee, while your opponent must reroll their 6s.
Oof.
Okay. Yeah, this is starting to be like, okay, the brain is like thinking of combinations here. But like I think this plus the bloodbath, it's pretty tasty, but very expensive. But yeah, like I think they're like the combo I see is like the bloodbath. Like that's just nice. Just to completely, you don't even care about the actual dice that you're rolling at the end. You're just gonna get so many auto hits from your opponent.
Yeah, and the
Oh yeah, especially it's orders reaction as well. So you can like you can
yeah,
literally just see what they're gonna do, what they've got
yes.
lined up, and think, yes, I'm gonna line this up, or just leave it on the board for next time. So I think this is yeah, this is good. I like it.
Yeah, it's really good. And the with the current FAQ, if you have, for example, if you roll a 5 on a die and you have the fight to the death activated, so you get +2 bonus. The die kind of becomes a 7 for a second, and then with the current FAQ, it changes so that a die can never score higher than a 6 or lower than a 1. So the die becomes a 6, and then I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think then since it's a 6, fanaticism will say, yeah, but this is a 6, so please reroll it. So I'll check it here in a second. But my understanding is that I think that there was something published in the FAQ about the order of applying modifiers and rerolls. I'll look at it here in a second. But if that is the case, then fight to the death, basically with fanaticism, basically says your opponent, if your opponent rolls a 4, 5, or 6 on their die, they need to reroll it, and that is incredible. But I'll check it here, and then I'll come. I'll give feedback here in a second.
The next one is Hijra. I guess Hijra. It's an uncommon or a rare. It's an activation. So remove one of your fanatic models as casualty. The fanatics is Hearthguard. It's not your warriors. So just as a reminder, activate up to 3 of your units within L of the unit which lost a figure. These activations do not generate fatigue. This seems like such a like late game type of move if you really need to get something done. But I don't know, like removing a Hearthguard is so painful. I don't know if I would play this, except for like last minute turn type of moving stuff into position for like an objective or like a charge or something like that. Like I don't know. This seems painful, especially in a board where you don't have any levies. You only have like warriors, Hearthguard, and you can't regenerate them. So I don't know. It's situational.
Yeah. This is also just a piece of the combo, I think. And I think the combo is, or part of the combo is, you make very small camel Hearthguard units, like 4 Hearthguard. I guess you can't go any smaller. And then you sacrifice one of the camels, and you basically move up your unit L already with their first move. Then you sacrifice one of your camels to activate this unit and 2 others. And you charge your camels in, and yeah, only 3 camels can make it in because you had to sacrifice one. But the important thing about that unit is that it's a camel unit and it's really good with bloodbath. And so you make your opponent not hit you well, and your unit's going to die anyway, but they're going to die to them. The unit's going to just hit itself to death, which is the whole idea, I think. So if you don't really want to play this on a unit that wants to fight later and play fair, but on one of those units that uses bloodbath, I think that's really what this ability shines with, right?
Yeah, but then yeah, even there, like, do you really, if you're running in with the bloodbath, do you care if you have like a fatigue on your? You would
Yes.
you would almost want a fatigue on your guys so that they would reduce their armor or something, right?
You don't, because the ability says each of your opponent's attack dice which don't score a hit
Yeah,
adds
you're
your
right.
automatic hit.
Yeah.
So you
you're
definitely
right.
don't want the fatigue.
Yep. No, you 100% right. It's like a weird way.
It's a weird way. Yeah, it is. It's the wrong way around. Like I don't know, for the Norse Gelgedir, right? They have it the other way around for each hit that you take.
that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
And
but I guess you're still relatively like you're not moving super quick as well with your camels, right? Because you're just the second move is going to be M anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's an 18-inch. Yeah.
It's not bad, but I guess you don't care too much about terrain and stuff, which is nice. But yeah, you're not going to be as quick as the mounted factions that you want to grab. Okay.
And I just looked it up, by the way. The fight to the death and fanaticism. It really does say in the current FAQ. It does say that if you have modifiers that modify your roll, then you add them before checking if you're eligible for a reroll or if you need to reroll. So if you play fight to the death with fanaticism in your opponent's turn, they reroll their 4, 5s, and 6s, which is incredible.
That's a lot of rerolls. So,
all right, let's go for the next one. And it's called The Name of Allah, and I think it's yours, right?
I'm not sure. I think I took the last one, but I don't mind.
Did we mess up the order? I think we did. Wait, how do we fix it? Yeah, you just do The Name of Allah.
All right. So this is a melee ability using either a common or an uncommon. Reduce your armor by 1, and you may reroll all your attack dice which do not score a hit. Man, there's so much reduce your armor, like every single one of these. Yeah, man, it's scoring hits. All right, that's a lot of rerolls. I mean, sure, I guess. I don't know. Like, there's not much I can say about this particular one.
Yeah, it's difficult to imagine if this is a good trade or if this is a good ability until you do the math on the battlefield. So if you force your opponent to close ranks or have a little amount of attack dice, then this of course becomes very good, because then the reducing armor isn't as relevant. Or if you can play it together with a rare on the mortal blow, you reduce your armor twice, but you also have 4 defense dice and 6 additional attack dice, which you can fully reroll. So there's good combo stuff here.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're especially if you're playing a lot of warriors, you're reducing your armor so much to get any of these buffs off, because you can really easily just play 2 of these and you're already on like 2s to hit, or your opponent's on 2s to hit, which gets pretty painful because you don't have that much, or you have nothing in terms of defensive abilities really, except for I guess mortal blow a little bit, but that's pretty gross. All right, I'm like, this is confusing board. This is like a big board where you have to. There's a lot of trade-offs. Every single one of these is basically a trade-off, which is
like, unusual.
Most of the other boards it's just like, oh, bonus here, and then your rare is even better. But here everything is just not great, and you're just losing guys. But hopefully, you're losing guys less quickly than the other guy. So, okay, right.
Yeah. Next up is Promise of Paradise. Great name. It's basically to Valhalla from the Viking. Yeah, it's I didn't mean to make any enemies right there, so just don't. Yeah, all right. It's a melee or shooting reaction for defenders only. So that's melee only, and it takes an uncommon or rare. It says if a unit is eliminated during this melee or shooting attack, each enemy unit within short of the last figure to be removed suffers a fatigue at the moment it is removed as a casualty. If you used a rare, all enemy units within L are affected instead. So if you force your opponent to charge you and to kind of finish off a unit. Then spreading fatigue becomes really annoying with a rare or an uncommon here. I think this is better into some factions, into factions that can't really handle fatigue, and worse into factions that can just shed the fatigue easily.
Yeah, would this like make it more interesting to have small units? Because then you're fatigue bombing everything.
Yeah.
I guess so. Like they're also, your defender. Oh, it's gonna be really annoying. I think maybe also, yeah, because it's defender, so you have to be. So it's not gonna be your turn. So it's not like you can run someone up and then do like the Alu Akbar on top, as like the last remaining guy, and then drop a lot of fatigues. So that's unfortunately not possible, because that would just be amazing if you could just run up and do that. Right, interesting. Yeah, I guess situational and really annoying, especially on the rare, because you're going to cover so many, especially late game. Okay, interesting. The next one has been FAQ'd, which I think is the only one that's been FAQ'd on the board so far.
Yeah.
So it's Yahanam. Yes. Using a uncommon or a rare, it's Order's Reaction. Designate one of your units and roll 2 dice. 4 if you use a rare. For each result higher than the armor in melee of the designated unit, add 1 figure to this unit within very short of another model of the unit without exceeding its starting number of models. All right, I stand corrected. I said you could not regenerate. I can't remember what this used to be, but it definitely did not regenerate.
Yeah, no.
Your warband. All right.
It was different.
Interesting. Okay. So that makes it much, much nicer. So you can even get like multiple backs. So that's pretty good. So I guess it's comparable to the Ordenstat one now. So they really leaned into the regenerating warbands for Crusades at the moment, which is interesting. So that makes the interesting mechanic with like just actually removing the Hearthguard on the Alu Akbar or the Hydra or the movements, because then it makes it a reasonable trade actually. You get like 3 with the Hydra, if you remove a Hearthguard, and then you basically gain like 3 additional Saga dice in terms of additional fatigue-free moves. And then you pop this one, and then you're actually back. Yeah, I think the trade is pretty favorable on this particular ability. You do run the chance of not rolling higher than the armor, which kind of sucks, especially because with the Hearthguard you'll be a little bit. You have to roll a 5 or 6, but it's not impossible to do.
I think it's even higher than the armor, right? So with Hearthguard you need to roll 6.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And I think this is really interesting with the Borderers, for example. So that's the warriors with heavy weapons or javelins that are really good in. Oh, I don't know. Can they even? I'm going to. Before I keep talking, let me check if they can. Yeah, they can. They can. So yeah, this is really interesting with the Borderers, right? Because the Borderers have heavy weapons, so their melee armor is 3, and then suddenly having dudes with melee weapons that are good at charging or good at doing damage, and then regenerating them on a 4-up, that feels pretty good, because you regenerate them in your opponent's turn. So you can charge in and then regenerate them after. That's pretty nice. Same obviously goes for your warriors with bows. They're super easy to regenerate, and they're still warriors. And so I think there's some interesting potential here.
Yeah, I think the what I was saying with the Hearthguard, armor 6 is going to be pretty tough. So I wouldn't bet on it with the even 2 or 4 dice. Like that's potentially is going to go wrong. Now you're just down a saga dice there. But I think interesting also regarding the mercenaries, because you're not activating them or anything like that. So there's no reason why you wouldn't be able to use this. So it'd be interesting to go through the mercenaries again with this in mind to see what else would be tasty to take. But yeah, I think this is like an interesting change to the board, because I back in the day I painted up a Mutatawwi'a warband. Then I sold it on actually without. I don't think I ever actually played a game with them. But I'm not saying I'm gonna look at collecting them again or anything. But it's definitely a much With this change, it makes it much more interesting as well. Just from kind of like the what I saw and playing against them, it was you're just losing so many guys constantly, especially like your warriors. If they have bows, they're pretty easy to kill. No real defense, no real shooting defense. So it's interesting just to be able to bring them back relatively easily, to be honest.
Yeah, so a relevant mercenary for them might be the horsemen. I don't know what they're called in English. The horsemen from the Eastern Riders, maybe. That's
the Blackhoods, or is that from?
Yes, yeah, exactly
That
those.
equivalent one, right?
Yeah. And the Mutts can take them, and they have composite bows, right? So they also have armor 3 and melee and regenerate really easily. And you kind of want them to go in anyway to shoot, and then if they get shot, they're super easy to regenerate. So I think that's also really interesting.
Yeah. No, sorry, they're just called the Eastern Horsemen for the Mutatawwi'a. So yeah, that's a good one. All right, how are we building this little warband? I haven't, to be honest, like 6 points of like camel Hearthguard would be interesting. Insane, but I think you could probably get away with it if you really wanted to.
I think Monty played them against me before, and Tristan or something like that, and he played these guys are an absolute sleeper when Crusades and Chivalry are played together, because Chivalry has so many horse factions that these guys are just incredible at taking out these oh so valuable Hearthguard in Chivalry. And what I saw being played was, I think, just small units. So three units of 4 Hearthguard on camels, and if the opponent doesn't bring horses, then just on horses, and then 2 units of 8 warriors and 1 unit of mercenaries. So last time I saw the borderers with them. So you really just want to, I don't know, jump in, smash face, and just win the trade ups, because your abilities make it so that you're going to lose your dudes, but since you brought small units and your opponent brought big units and everything's going to die in this melee, you still trade it up.
Yeah, I think so too. From what I remember from my warband, and that was kind of like the standard build for a long time back in the kind of the start of the Crusades, was I think like a unit of like 6 Hearthguard with camels, and then the rest just warriors, obviously. And then like a big block of like 12 bow warriors with like a banner. And they would just do the shooting, because you need people to come to you, basically. And because I guess you're mostly going to be on foot, and then you want people to come to you and then shoot multiple times, and then the banner is quite handy. And then even they're like 12 warriors, even if they're armor 3, they're still pretty nasty. So I'm not sure if it's as necessary right now.
I think the 12 warriors with bows are just good because they're easy to revive. They have lots of melee dice, which is important for your abilities, and they have good shooting utility. So they aren't really survivable, but anything that touches them will also get deleted. So
and now you can regen them as well. So
yeah,
you could,
if you mess up, or if
I think even there, it doesn't even matter too much. So, then like, yeah, okay, interesting. I think pretty much lots of different options here. They're probably
Which
going
is
to be
cool.
okay, which is nice. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a massive fan of like the camel models from Gripping Beast, but you can put together a warband relatively quickly there. They are. I just remember painting those models. They're incredibly low detail on them, so it's actually quite a quick paint job. But I think Victrix now has like come out with like some nice Islamic models. However, no plastic camels. Unfortunately, I think you probably need to go down to the old 3D printing to find some resin camels, which I'm pretty sure like Reconquer Designs or something like that. They must have those types of things.
They do, and they look incredible. Yeah, they're insane.
All right, I haven't actually seen them, but I'm pretty sure you can put like a Victrix Knight on a resin camel without too much difficulty if you really need to. But yeah, I don't know. Am I going to pick up a warband, a new Mutatawwi'a warband? I don't think so. Am I interested to play against them with like the changes? Definitely.
Heck yeah.
But I'm still like really confused like how you would play this. It just seems like a big brain type of like really need to plan like what you do and everything else. It's not like Crusaders where you can just rock up and you'll be fine, whatever. I think this is a little bit more of a finesse faction.
Yeah, which is fine, right? Nothing bad about that. You just need to be okay with having to spend some mental power when playing.
Yeah, I think this is like one of those warbands that is after like a 5-game tournament over a weekend. It's just going to be pretty exhausted. From thinking constantly. So unless you're up for the challenge, then maybe this one isn't for you. But I think lots of like nice models available at the moment, either metal or plastic. So that makes nice change. I think even I started just using the was the Grippenbeast plastic Arab infantry, and then that plus some camels, and you've got a whole warband really quickly. And they're pretty easy to paint. They're relatively low detail, like the Gripping Beast Dark Age Warriors,
which
like a bell sound to say that we mentioned them. But they're pretty easy to paint, and they look pretty reasonable. And I think you should just go make them pretty fancy with like all the cloth and everything else. So interesting. But how would you rate them, Tim? Out of what are we rating?
I don't know. I think they're. I was completely destroyed by them twice. So I respect the heck out of these mods, and I don't think I would want to play them myself, but they beat warbands that I thought were really strong, and so I'm giving them a 3.8. Because I think because I think they're really good at fucking up their opponent's plan, which is valuable in Saga.
All right, I think I will align mostly because I'm still confused by this warband. I need time to meditate and think about what's going on here. But yeah, like you, it's not one I'm going to run out and purchase a whole bunch of figures for. But in the end, like you can put this one together relatively quickly. I think camels. Big fan of camels. So if you like camels, this is the one for you. And I think that makes them stand out in terms of hobbying and everything else as well. So I think that will definitely bring some people to play them. And then also it's going to be relatively versatile, except for the camels. You can probably slot them into like have like a decent like Saracen or Moors warband after that as well. Especially if you just have like the mounted guys on horses.
And then you can use your camels as the scouts if you really like if you really
if you
want
to
to
paint more camels, yeah. All right. Yeah, I think this is. You think we're going to see more Mutatawwi'a now on the board with this
I think
change?
we think we were already seeing more muts with the current FAQ. So yeah, I think so.
It's only going up for the Mutatawwi'a, so it's fun word to say anyway. So hopefully we'll see them more often.
Mutatawwi'a. Yeah.
I think we're it's late. It's time to sleep if we're saying shit like this. All right. Good to talk to you, Tim. Thank you for listening, and catch you all later.
Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.